Welcome back, everybody, from Westminster Studio. This is the Buzz Podcast. This is your host, Nathan LaRiccia, joined by my co-host, Mike Boucher. We represent the Sports Information Office here at Westminster. This is episode 11, I believe. And today we're very excited for our student-athlete guest, men's basketball senior, Dylan O'Hara. Dylan, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. Thanks for having me on today.
Absolutely. So how many classes you got today?
I had one. I had a Spanish presentation today, so I got that over with and ready to roll for the game.
Spanish presentation.
I know.
Wow.
Yep.
So what'd you talk about?
I talked about my trip to the Dominican Republic. I went this past summer, so I talked about that.
All in Spanish, or were you able to discuss
it? Was supposed to be all in Spanish, so that mine was a little bit of a mix of both.
Spanglish?
Yeah.
I was real good at Spanglish.
Yeah.
And Spanish 3. So you're a secondary or you're education major, right? Correct?
Yeah, I'm a special education early childhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do you have a minor in Spanish, or this is all kind of?
Nah, it's just one of the requirements.
Okay. The DR, was that a family trip or mission trip, or how?
I went with a couple teachers actually from the school and a couple other students. We went down for a week and we went and taught in the schools and taught some English. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. So we really want to get to know Dylan O'Hara today. I feel like I'm gonna be honest. You give a lot of interviews. You represent well, but sometimes I'm like, what's this guy really feel? Like, I feel like I know it's after the game. It's probably the last thing you want to do is talk to us. But, we appreciate you always taking the time, especially taking time to do the Buzz. But sometimes it's like, man, that was a short interview. I wish you would. I want to ask him more questions, So today, that's my goal. I don't know about Mike's over there, but I think that's our goal.
Yeah, no, I think everyone on campus would like to get to know Dylan O'Hara a little bit more. I mean, leading scorer in the conference, a lot of things that people want to know about this guy. What do you think, Nate?
I think so too. Leading scorer in the PAC, as Mike mentioned, over 20 or about 20 points per game. Doubling your average from last year. Best shooter in the conference. What do you attribute your success to this year, Dylan?
I think just the hard work I put in the summer. I put in a lot of hard work with my brother and a couple other guys on the team. We got together almost every day, so I attribute it to that.
Now, you kind of have a unique journey. Went to Girard High School, played there. Then you first went to Waynesburg and played, was on the basketball team there. Transferred to YSU, didn't play there, but then, came to Westminster. Talk about that whole journey and how everything came about.
Yeah, it's definitely been a long journey. So, as you mentioned, I went to Waynesburg my freshman year, and I tore my labrum about the middle of the year, so I just played through it that year. Then I had to get surgery, so I wasn't going to be able to play, so I just came back to YSU for a year. And then I decided that I wanted to play again, so Coach Rookie recruited me previously out of high school, so then it's nice and close to home. So then, I ended up here.
Okay. Now, best shooter, we mentioned your points average, but also, you take a lot of pride with your free throws. Best percentage there in the conference. Like they always say, games are won and lost at the free throw line. Is that because do you take extra time at practice? Is that something you just you really pride yourself in? What is that about?
Yeah, I think I jinxed myself the past couple of games. I missed about 5 in the past 2. I'm like, what's going on? But no, I just put in a lot of extra work after practice, getting up as many as I can, just so when I get up there, I have confidence in my shot.
No, I did want to ask, and we'll let Mike. Mike's chomping at the bit over there. He's pacing himself. But let me ask this one question, Mike. Before I know you're loaded over there, but I am interested to know. Now, I feel like we always knew you were a solid shooter, coming here the past couple years. But did you know this year was going to be like your year? And what was the difference? Was it? I know that your teammates are creating opportunities. The coaches are creating plays for you. They're relying on you. You trust in them. They trust in you. But did you know kind of like this could be my year? Was it a confidence thing? Was it a practice thing? Was it a determination, mental? Like what was that?
I think it was a little bit of just finding confidence in my game, like not playing the previous 2 years. So I think last year I was a little bit hesitant. I didn't want to shoot too much or seem selfish. And then I think the way last year ended with Chad and winning on our court, like that's just been my motivation ever since. Just seeing them celebrate and us having to walk off, like that was one of the worst feeling I've ever had in my life, to be honest. So that's just what's motivated me to bring my game to another level.
Unfinished business.
Yeah.
So speaking of that unfinished business, I got more of a team question here for you. So a lot of people outside the basketball team, they might not know what #unfinished business means. So kind of explain that for a lot of people who haven't been following and don't really know what that unfinished business mantra means.
Yeah, so Coach Shiroki talked to me after last year ended, and he was like, so we need a slogan for this year. So that's what first popped in my head, unfinished business. So last year, obviously, we had a goal to win the PAC championship, and we had it on our home court, and we lost by 3. We had opportunity right in front of us. Unfortunately, it slipped out of our hands and didn't go our way. So this year we have unfinished business. We want to get back to that exact same spot, but with a new result. And I think we have a great opportunity to do so.
So you created the unfinished business mantra.
Yes, I did. I talked to Blake about it too, so we came up with that. We thought that was very fitting for this year.
We'll discuss tonight's big time PAC game against Grove City. But most recently, last Wednesday, you had a career-high 36 points. It was the most by any Titan this year. It tied most by any PAC player this year, and it was most by a Westminster player in 7 years since Doug Smith, the brother of Pat Smith. Mike loves those Westminster connections.
There are so many. It's shocking everywhere you turn that there's a Westminster connection, no matter where you are.
But we don't want to take away, that amazing performance. What was clicking for you last Wednesday?
A lot. So the first half, it felt like Isaac played great too. It felt like him and I were like hitting every shot, and I look up at the scoreboard, we're only up like 2 points. I'm like, what is going on here? But luckily, my teammates always put me in great positions to score the ball, and I think just coming out right from the start and looking to get a couple buckets early.
How cool was it to play with your brother, Austin?
It's awesome. It's awesome. Because this is my 5th year, so we've never actually had the chance to play together. We've always played, obviously, one-on-one and stuff like that. But just to be around him and live together is an awesome opportunity. And to play with him, too, because we kind of we know each other's games without having to say anything. Like, if he's going this way, or we know where the other one likes the ball and their strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that.
That's a great point. So technically, when you were a senior in high school, he wasn't even a freshman yet. He was in 8th grade.
Yeah, he was in 8th grade.
So you given that up. So that's kind of like the blessing in disguise. You have another year of eligibility. It's your 5th year, based on how your journey started and things like that. So it worked out. You're able to play with your brother.
Yeah, it worked out really well. Because at first, when I got hurt, I was like, this is terrible. Like, I don't want to stay an extra year, stuff like that. And then now, it all worked out in the end. Be able to play with him.
And he's doing. I mean, he's making an impact his first year.
I know. I'm really happy for him because he has been hurt the previous 2 years too. He broke his finger, and then he has 3 screws in his leg. He broke his leg last year, senior year. So for him to be able to play this year, he's put in a lot of hard work too. I'm happy for it's paying off for him, and I think he's got a really bright future too.
Yeah, and you definitely can see the work ethic. Not long ago, a couple nights ago, Nate and I were sitting after the game, writing the recaps, and we saw Austin at the free throw line after a big win with Coach Dale Blaney, working on free throws with no one else in the gym but us. So clearly that O'Hara mentality is clear with both of you guys.
I know he was really mad. He missed free throws at the end of the game. I'm like, Austin, we won, man. He's like, I don't even care. I'm going to shoot free throws. And I was like, it's like snowing outside. You probably get home soon. He goes, no, I'm staying.
Well, how'd that conversation go when he graduated high school and you're like, hey, I'm still playing. This is my last year. What was that discussion like between the two of you?
I didn't want to push him anywhere because I knew the Westminster is a great place. Obviously, this being my 3rd year here, and he was looking at Chatham as well, and I was like, you can't go there. Come on. But he visited there and he visited here, and then he came up for a visit, and then one day he was like, Dill, I'm going to Westminster. I was like, great choice. It all worked out.
That's awesome, and I know you have a big family following. They go, I'm sure, to as many away games as they can. I met your dad, kind of not like a proper handshake. Hey, I'm Nathan. Hey, nice to meet you, Mr. O'Hara. But he came over, or a guy came over. A man stepped over or came over to the press row and wanted a box score. And typically, we don't hand out box scores to parents just because you kind of open up that floodgates. Like everybody, we're going to get like a box score distributor. But I knew who it was, and I think that was Wednesday. And I was like, all right, when your son scores a career high, you could have as many box scores as you want. So that was cool meeting him. I was at the Bethany game Saturday, and was that. And I don't get to travel to too many games. We have usually we have sports going on here at home that we have to cover. But it kind of worked out that I was able to travel with you guys, and that was a really cool experience. Was that kind of one of the most hostile environments, or was that just kind of eye opening to me because that was my first away game in a while?
No, the environment is definitely rowdy down there at Bethany. The gym is super loud for some reason, and then in the first half that we let them stick around a little bit, so that got the crowd into it too. So luckily in the second half we were able to pull it together.
What do you think the rowdiest away game that you've been a part of since playing here?
Probably the Grove City game last year, in the PAC semis. Probably that. There's a ton of people there at the Grove City, so that would probably be the one.
So I think that's a challenge to. We'll try to get this podcast posted as soon as we can afterwards. But I think that's a challenge to all the Titan fans out there. I mean, that makes a difference, right? When you hear the crowd there.
100%. Just makes you want to bring your game to another level and show out for the people that come to watch you play.
Absolutely. Mike, you're right over there.
Do you think that has such an impact? Because you guys at home have been pretty much unbeatable this year. I think you've only lost one game at home this entire year. Do you think that makes a difference, having those fans there? Or what is the difference for you guys at home that makes you so dominant?
Yeah, no, I'm not really sure. I think we play with a different level of confidence at home. I don't know. Just on the road, it just seems like our consistency isn't there. But I think it's going to come at the end of the year when it needs to. But at home, we just feel comfortable, and we shoot way better, too, for some reason. We just get a lot of more shots up on the hoop. I don't know what it is, but we definitely play well at home.
All right, so before we get to, I'm sure you never heard this podcast before I reached out to you. Is that correct?
No. Sorry.
Nothing personal. That's the norm. That's the typical answer. But we do a rapid fire, aka slow burn. We ask you questions. We try to get one answer, but what we make it, we renamed it slow burn, courtesy of Josie DePorcer, because we end up, trailing off, and it's not as quick as we hope. But we'll get to that in a little bit, and that's where we're really try to get to know Dylan O'Hara, the leading scorer of the PAC. But before we get into that, let's talk about tonight's game. It's really hard. It's I always wait for Joe and Derek, the commissioner of the PAC, to email us the tiebreakers, the standings, and everything like that. But I think Grove City pretty much locked number one. Is that correct?
Yeah, they locked
it. The worst Westminster can do is number 3, but you could get number 2. There's a shot at getting number 2.
Yeah.
Is that correct? In the last time out, you played Grove City. You lost in overtime. Were you hurt or were you sick?
I was hurt.
You were hurt.
Play, yeah.
So you didn't play, but it was a great game. Lost in overtime at Grove City. You guys were down by 9. You came back. Isaac Stamatiadis made a clutch 3 to force overtime. But the Wolverines on a 12-game winning streak. What are your expectations for tonight?
I think we just gotta come out with confidence. We know that they run the flex, so the tempo of the game is a little bit different. So that's always hard to adjust to, because on defense you're constantly moving, you're constantly getting hit with the screen, mostly illegal screens. But so you got to adjust to that. And then the way they play defense, they really pack in the paint. So we got to be ready to distribute the ball and knock down some shots.
Well, they're physical, right?
Yeah, they are very physical too.
I mean, maybe not as physical. I mean, as a chatting game, that one got a little rowdy.
Yeah, that did. I like the
little
ending
chippy.
I like the ending of that game, though.
It's true. And that's one thing I was going to bring up with you. I feel you're kind of like a quiet assassin. I mean, you make your shots and you just go back to defense. You're not really a rah like in your face pump fist. I mean, you don't really have time. You transition back to defense. But I feel like there's a little bit of that came out in against Chatham. I think Mike noticed a little pumping your muscles a little bit, or rock the baby. I don't know if you do the rock the baby or not. I don't know. We got to check the tape on that to confirm. But I think those types of games, though, I mean, those really prepare you for. That was a playoff atmosphere kind of game.
Yeah, for sure. And we definitely have a lot of guys back, as I mentioned. So we're hoping that this year we can lean on that because we've been in this situation before. Okay, this didn't happen our way, so now we can learn from that and hopefully have a better outcome.
I noticed with you too, in addition to what I just said, I feel like when you take that hard foul, it's kind of one of those things where they're trying to get in your head, they're trying to bump you a little bit, extracurricular. You kind of just smile and just kind of like nod your head and go to the free throw line and make your shots. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. They try to get in your head, don't they?
Yeah, I just try not to let it bother me and just focus on what I got to get done.
For sure.
We've heard about things. Head football coach Scott Benzel said one of the most important things at Westminster is to win your rivalry games. For Westminster basketball, who would you guys consider your rivals, and what makes that a rivalry?
I mean, there's probably a tie. I mean, with Chatham over the past 2 years, it's definitely become a rivalry, I would say, because of how close the games have been each and every time, and then obviously we met in the championship last year. But then same with Grove City. It's always a close game. It's always a battle. That game literally feels like 5 hours long, the games with Grove City. So I would say both of those, honestly. I know they say Geneva, but those are always close games too. But for me personally, I would say Grove City or Chatham.
It's kind of one of those things. You kind of have like the long time archive historical rival, but then you kind of have like the modern rival.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
those
it kind
would
of depends on
definitely
who
be
you
the
ask.
modern ones. Yeah,
for sure.
Chatham and Grove City.
So, I mean, we'll continue to talk, but you think it's time for rapid fire, aka slow burn, Mike?
We could probably get into it.
You got the questions on you?
I do not have the questions on me.
Wow,
you can text him.
This guy's prepared. I mean, it's good thing you're editing this podcast, Mike.
We'll see about that.
The funny thing is that you're not though.
I got things to do.
Jeez, unbelievable. So, but while Mike's preparing for his job today at 11:15 a.m., let's talk a little bit about the Buddy Walk for Down syndrome awareness, and your involvement with that. I know the basketball team has been involved with that past few years, and I think it's such a great event to create that awareness, and you're heavily involved with your family.
Yeah, definitely. So we've been doing this for probably about 10 to 12 years now. Obviously, my brother Noah has Down syndrome, so that's always a big day for him. He looks forward to it. He's kind of like, that's kind of his day to shine. So Austin and I and our family try to get as many people as we can to go out, not only just to spread awareness about Down syndrome and to learn more about it, but just to show him how much he loves. And the basketball team has came the past 3 years. It's been awesome, and he loves it every time.
That's awesome. So that's at Eastwood Mall, right?
Yeah, it's right in that complex. Yeah,
okay.
It's right by the where the Mahoning Valley Scrappers play.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's a great event. So you have two brothers?
Yeah, Austin and Noah. Yeah.
Okay, and you're the oldest.
Yeah.
Mike, you prepared now? Did you get the rapid fire?
I am prepared, but I have one more question.
Yeah.
And this one's going to be about Coach Soroki. We all see him at basketball games. He's one of the more fiery, intense coaches that we have at this school. But a lot of people don't know him off the court, and you spend more time with him now as a senior captain than probably anyone. So give us
you love those coaches' questions.
A lot of people want to hear about the coaches. You'd be surprised. So just give us a little glimpse as to what Coach Soroki is off the court, since you've gotten to know him so well over the past 3 years.
Yeah, I've gotten to know him pretty well. Just off the court, he just cares a lot about his guys, I think, and he's always trying to put them in the best positions to succeed. That's one thing I would like to say about him. And he's always looking for ways to get us better. He's like, well, what can I do different? What can I do different? Sometimes he puts too much blame on himself, so it's more on us. But I think he's just focused on winning, and that's what I like about him.
So he recruited you, not to go back a little bit. He recruited you right at high school, right?
Yeah. And
then you decided to go to Wayne. What was the difference of going to Waynesburg? Was it just a better fit at that point, or not to
Yeah, I think there's just a better fit at that point. To be honest, I don't even really know why I went there. But the previous year before Waynesburg made it to the PAC championship game, so they were building off that. They had a couple guys coming back, and he was telling me that I could fit right into the guard position there.
For sure.
And on my visit, I enjoyed the people there. So
that's another cool connection too, because he went there, right?
Who?
Did Soroki go to Girard?
No,
Am I losing my mind? Where'd he go?
He went to Mineral Ridge.
That's right. That's right. I knew that.
Yeah.
But the current coach at Girard is a Westminster alum.
Yeah, Craig.
So that's Craig
all-time leading scorer.
All-time leading scorer, Titan Sports Hall of Famer. Yeah. So I did want to. I think that was kind of a cool feature story idea. What was it like playing for Craig?
It was awesome. So he got there. It was my sophomore year. It would have been his first year. So we were just previously Girard had not been that good, and so they hired this new coach. I think he only coached freshmen before, so we were like, all right, who is this guy? But then I have a great relationship with him, and he's helped me out a ton on and off the court. So I can't say enough good things about him.
That's cool seeing a Westminster alum. And seeing what the impact, how much the program meant to him, that he wanted to continue with the sport and coaching, and he had so much success here. So that's kind of like an indirect recruiting tool. Yeah, at first you maybe didn't go to Westminster, but it ended up you came to here where your coach previously played.
Yeah, he taught me there's no such thing as a bad shot either. So he helped me out with that.
Good shooters keep shooting.
Yeah,
that's what I say. All right, Mike, you got the questions.
They're here.
All right, I'll take the first one. All right, Dylan, are you ready for rapid fire, aka slow burn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Texting or talking?
Talking.
That's rapid fire. We're ready to roll. He's ready to roll. He's ready to roll here.
All right, should we roll the second question here?
Absolutely.
Nate?
Let's keep rolling, baby.
All right. Favorite day of the week?
Saturdays.
Favorite city in the U.S. besides the one you live in?
New York.
Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
I would say no.
There was a lot of thought behind that one.
That was my thought so far. Yeah. All right. Do you like animal crackers?
Yeah.
When's the last time you had animal crackers?
I would probably say about a month ago. I think I had like a pack sitting in the back, and I'm usually low on food in my house. So, like whatever I can find to like get me through the day.
Whatever the team meals are that day.
Oh yeah.
Right? What's been the best team meal so far? You had Chick-fil-A one time, right?
Yeah, we've had Chick-fil-A a lot. Our record's pretty good when we eat Chick-fil-A. I think we only have like about one loss, so hopefully that keeps up. I would definitely say Chick-fil-A. We've eaten Chipotle a lot too over break.
Now, is that home and away you get meals? Or
Yes.
how's it? Okay.
Yeah, home and away.
Okay. So it's Chick-fil-A. Is that more of a home thing, or is that it just depends?
I think we've had it a couple times on the road, but it's
Okay.
more home thing because
Gotcha.
Coach Blaney scoops it on his way in, so
Gotcha.
he helps us out with that because there's not really one close around here.
Yeah, Coach Soroki, he hooked me up with Sandwich Factory for the Bethany game. That was pretty solid.
Yeah, sometimes we have Subway, which is,
Overdone.
yeah.
Okay. Beggars can't be choosers, right?
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Nickname your parents used to call you.
Dill.
Dill.
Come a Dill.
All right. Last song you downloaded.
I was watching a TikTok and I downloaded a song. I can't remember the name of it though. But
Is it the Renegade song?
no,
Oh,
it
not that
was
one?
something different. It was something new. I can't remember the exact name, and I was like, I kind of like this beat, so I downloaded it. I can't remember what it was though.
Do you have like how does your song list, playlist, pregame music work out? Like who makes that?
It's mostly composed of Drake, so that's a lot. It's a lot of Drake, some J. Cole. I listen to.
I mean, is that like a team thing? Like everyone just like, hey, can you include this in the mix, or is this one person like, hey, I got the mix, don't worry about
Well,
it?
not really sure, because sometimes the CD that we play before our games is not the one that we had during the year. We like always have problems with that. I think Malik was in charge of that. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But then like in the locker room, like we have a big speaker, so someone will play that.
Okay.
If people don't like what's going on there, people have their AirPods or headphones in, so it's a little mix of everything.
I got
honestly.
you. I got you. I know we had technical difficulties in the beginning of the year. The CD player wouldn't work, so I went ahead and went on Amazon, bought a new one. But then, yeah, we'll get there, and there's 3 blank CDs on top of the CD player. I'm like, Jan's like, which one do we play? I'm like, I don't play that one, I guess. So,
And then it comes out like blaring, and then everyone like covers their ears, and then like there's no sound.
It's a very trial and error type of ordeal there.
we like to test your mental, stay, get you ready. All right. So, kind of along those same lines, if you had an entrance song, what would it be? Like a walk-up song playing baseball or something like that. Like, what would be blaring as you're stepping up to the plate?
I'd say Forever by Drake. That usually gets me going.
There you go.
It gets me ready to play.
Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Wow, that's tough. I'm probably going to talk to animals. That'd be pretty awesome.
And Spanglish?
Yeah, Spanglish.
Not even with your Spanish class right now. You could ace that right now.
Yeah, nah, yeah. I'm taking talking to animals.
Which animal would you talk to first? You have any pets?
I don't. I'm allergic to cats and dogs, sadly. I'm talking to a cheetah.
Cheetah?
Yeah.
What would you tell him?
That's a tough question.
You want to race?
Yeah.
All right. Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
You guys had a nice break this year, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We had 10 days off, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then we had the trip to Michigan.
right.
Which was nice too. So that was kind of cool. Some team bonding and stuff like that. And we played 2 pretty solid teams up there as well.
Yeah. And I always feel for you guys too, because you guys work so hard tirelessly when all the students are gone for like 5 weeks. You guys are still here, working, practicing, playing.
Yeah.
It's a grind for sure.
Yeah, it's nice not to have school though, so you get to hoop and then kind of chill. But I mean, we are by ourselves, but the time actually goes by pretty fast. Once you look back on it, like during you're like, oh, this is terrible, do the same thing every single day, but like actually goes by pretty fast.
You're doing what you love, so I mean.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sitting up here in New Wilmington, yeah.
There's a lot to do up here. Come
all
on.
kinds of stuff to do.
All right. Do you have any Harry Potter knowledge?
I don't.
Okay, we'll skip that one. If you could travel back in time, what period would you go to?
Probably when I was like 11 or 12, play Little League Baseball again.
I'm glad you brought that up. So you played soccer at Girard as well,
I did,
correct? I mean, you're pretty solid? You're pretty good?
Yeah, that was pretty solid. We actually started a team my sophomore year was like our inaugural year, but just didn't really count. But then my junior and senior were our first 2 years. And so we got our first tournament win and stuff like that. So I definitely had a lot of fun playing.
Would you miss soccer?
Yeah, I do. I missed the shape I was in because like just
Non-stop running.
nonstop
Condition.
running. And then it translated right into basketball. So I really didn't have to get into shape for that.
Did you ever think about playing soccer collegiately?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I think it would be too hard just with the amount of work that I put in with basketball. I don't think I'd be able to do that with soccer and like keep my body where it needs to be to play.
I think Coach Dakar, I think he'd be all about it. Yeah.
He's always looking for players.
Yeah.
All right, favorite junk food?
Oreos.
It's a good call. Favorite childhood TV show?
Drake and Josh.
That's another good one.
Favorite number besides your jersey number?
15. I was 15 in high school.
Was 15 available when you came here or no?
Everyone was like, "Are you going to be the next Vrabel?" I'm like, "I'm not dealing with that. Give me number 10."
That's a good point.
Yeah, those are hard shoes to fill there.
That'd be a little intimidating to ask 15 from that guy.
Yeah.
All right. Is it ever acceptable to wear socks and sandals?
Yes, I do that.
That's kind of like an student athlete thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, would you wear it to class on game days?
Not like the with the open ones, right? Not like with the one the
It's just like a pair of slides.
Okay,
a pair of
yeah,
slides
that's
with
fine.
some socks.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure Paul Gonzalez would do it, even with a little divider thing.
Yeah, we've had some of those that said they would.
All right, a couple more questions here, Dylan. Scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
I'd say I'm pretty solid. I give myself a 9.
Huh?
Have you ever been in an accident?
I have not. I've been pulled over for running a couple stop signs.
10 and 2.
Yeah.
Is your car inspected? Or you're from Ohio, so
My car doesn't have to get inspected.
PA guys have to get their car inspected.
Yeah.
Mike learned that the hard way not too long ago.
We'll get it inspected eventually.
Jeez.
All right. Invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility.
Dude, super strength, you would average like 100 points a game.
I know. I'm taking invisibility just for that would help in basketball, but I feel invisibility to have more benefits throughout my life.
But that wraps up rapid fire. I mean, that might have been the quickest rap. I think we might have to go back to calling rapid fire, Mike.
We might have to. Yeah.
That was a quick game there. But yeah, thanks for playing rapid fire. Post graduation. So you want to coach and teach, or just teach, or see what's available, what's going on after graduation?
Yeah, I want to see what's available. Definitely, I'm trying to look into maybe a graduate assistant spot somewhere. So I've been trying to email a couple coaches to get my name out there. I would like to do that. That would be my main goal. Be able to get my master's and be able to still coach and be around basketball. But if not, obviously I would like to teach somewhere, high school, and still coach as well.
Local or just wherever is available?
Probably wherever is available. I mean, staying local would be nice because I get to see Austin play and stuff and stay around my brother Noah. But, I mean, if the opportunity arises and I think it'll benefit me, then I'll definitely take it.
Yeah, and graduate school doesn't seem like it would be much of an issue for you with you won SAC Scholar Athlete of the Month last month. So where does the prioritizing academics, does that come personally, or is that a family thing? That's all O'Hara's been really good students throughout their time, or is that something that you challenge yourself to be a really good student?
I think at first my dad was always emphasized it to me, but then just like I was getting older, he wasn't on me as much, and it's my responsibility as well. And I'm an ed major apparently, so that's why I have a good grades. Everyone lets me know about it every single day that I have the easiest classes on campus.
Hey, I don't care what major you're in. As a student athlete, I mean, it's still remarkable to. I mean, talk about that balancing time. I guess it's a two-part question. What's your favorite thing about being a student athlete here at Westminster, and what would be your advice for an incoming freshman, looking to be a student athlete in any sport, really?
Yeah, I think just on a small campus, just the platform you have, just be able to meet and talk to more people, maybe. And then incoming freshmen, I think it's just all about balancing your time, which I'm still working on. But I think
we all are.
I think one thing is the teachers in the ed department I can speak for. They're really understanding about your busy schedule. So if you're like you can't get something done right at that time, if you come and talk to them, they're really understanding about giving you an extra day or two, which I think is very beneficial.
All right, so what would be your perfect situation? Obviously the PAC, that's all every team's goal, especially I think Westminster a little more because he got a little taste of it. I mean that was not to open up wounds, but that was like one of the best environments I've ever been a part of here at Westminster. That PAC championship game, I know it didn't have the final result, but that was electrifying. I mean I remember talking to our athletic director Jim Daffler, and Jim was like, that's what it was always like every single game, back in the day, back in the glory days. But what would be the best fitting for you that you're excited about, wrapping up this season?
I think it was just get get back to the same spot as I mentioned, no matter if we're going to be at home or away, and just be able to get the job done. I think that we have guys that are capable. I think our team, I think we have a deep team. I think we're go on the road or at home, I think we can win in big environments. I think we've been in situations before that'll put us in the best spot to do so.
How beneficial is that to have players? You know, you did lose some players. Austin Armwood, was a big one to lose due to graduation. But how important is it to have players that was on that team to feel how close you guys were to come back this year to finish?
Yeah, I think you could just see it. I mean, not everyone could see it, but just the work that everyone's put in since the season started. You know, we have fall workouts, 6 a.m., 3 days a week, starting like 2 weeks into school. So just the hard work that everyone has put in and extra time on their own. You could tell that everyone wants to get back to that place and have a different result. And I think everyone's games has elevated from last year too, which gives us another push.
Now, I know the point of the game is to get the ball in the hoop, but what would be one thing as you wrap up the season tonight, which is crazy? I swear there was a game on Saturday. I'm not used to the season ending on Wednesday.
I know.
It's kind of random.
It happened last year too. It actually works out for us. It's nice we get a little break before and everyone gets to play, so we just have to worry about tonight.
I think Grove City is the only team, right, Mike, that's playing on Saturday.
Grove City has one more game against Waynesburg or Chatham or someone that they have to play on Saturday, but that's the only other game on Saturday. Everyone else is done tonight.
They might rest their starters, like the NFL would.
Load management.
But next week the PAC tournament. So if there was one thing that you would tell, as the leader on the team, what would you tell your team? What would be the word that you guys would want to, not to ruin a word if it is focused, but what is it that you guys want, that you really want to not dial in on going into playoffs next week?
I think it's just execution. We worked on our plays. It means it's the end of the year. We all know that. So I think just execution on both sides of the ball, getting the best shot we can on offense. If the guy's hot, getting it to him. If we have a mismatch, getting it to him. And on defense, just working together as one unit.
I'm excited, Mike.
I think everyone on campus is excited. You can definitely feel it. I mean, 2 big games tonight. Women's basketball also is right there with them. And then you got the men's game following that. It's going to be a really electric atmosphere, not only tonight, but going forward in the PAC tournament. I think everyone on campus is really excited.
That's the cool thing, too. And I brought this up to, I think, Brooke Lysick. She was on the Buzz a couple weeks ago. But how it's neat to have, you have the basketball team, but when you guys travel, you travel with the women's basketball team as well. So it's kind of like your second team in a sense, as far as, you're going to be there cheering for them. They're going to be there cheering for you. How important is that?
Yeah, honestly, this year I feel like we haven't traveled as much because sometimes they take vans.
Okay.
But I think a couple games that we've traveled together. But it's just nice, when you're away, you really don't have that many fans. So just knowing that we got a group there that's in our corner is always nice.
That's true. There's always a fan bus with you.
Yeah.
And it's so neat to see both teams succeeding this year too. And being able to pull forward.
Yeah, the girls are having a great season, which is nice to see.
For sure. Mike, you good?
I'm great.
Got everything off your chest?
I got everything I wanted.
Don't you want to talk about anything else?
No, I just got to give a shout out to my boy Lloyd Chapman.
Lloyd Chapman. That's our boy, too.
We love Lloyd.
Yeah.
We do love Lloyd. Yeah, he was a practicum student. He finished strong for us, but yeah. We'll check this out. So we'll have Lloyd on, too, if he wants to come on. But we did invite earlier in the year Isaac Stamatiadis, which I think Bethany did a really good job pronouncing his name.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they?
It's one of the best ones I've heard.
Yeah, and that might have helped that I was there. I mean, I gave everyone a pronunciation guide, but I think they nailed that one.
Yeah.
But guess who didn't? Guess who denied us?
Isaac.
Isaac. Yeah.
He just said no.
He said, well, first he said, he's like, yeah, I'm good, I'll be there. And then he's like, where's it at? And I was telling him where we're at. And I think it was the night before. He's like, hey, I probably got the text here, but he's like, hey Nate, I got something with I don't know what he had. It's something RA or.
No, he's got always has RA duties. That's
always RA.
Get us stuff.
Or a haircut. Those two things. Yeah. RA duties or a haircut will take him out of contention.
So it was one of those things, life lessons. I mean, the one thing we had talked to him about during his practicum, he may or may not have left at halftime in one of the games that he was working live streaming because he had RA duty. But he's like, Mike, I gotta go. It's like halftime. It was a soccer game, wasn't it?
It was a soccer game. We love Isaac.
Isaac's our guy.
And Isaac's a good dude too.
He is a good dude. Who's the best? Who's the best singer on the team?
Singer. Probably Lloyd. You can just hear him in the shower singing every day. And you can't tell him to stop because he always has something smart to say back to you that you're like, all right, that's a good point or whatever. I'm not even gonna say anything to you.
So he's the best with the comebacks on the team, Lloyd.
So
as well.
fast. He's so quick.
He's quick wit.
And then he just leaves you like, all right, I have nothing else to say.
So
and he knows that he got you so quick, so you're just like, whatever, man, I'm done talking.
So you have to be prepared if you're gonna go at him.
You got to have stuff lined up, ready to roll back quick.
What about dancer? Who's the best dancer on the team?
Isaac, but he's nervous to do it, but it's definitely Isaac. Yeah.
When he's in his element, he could get down.
Sure. Yeah, he can.
Now the bus was kind of quiet. Was that normal going to Bethany? I mean, even there and back. I know you guys took care of business, but was that typical? Were you guys pretty low key on the bus?
Yeah, that trip to Bethany isn't the best. So yeah, I think guys were just chilling. It's the end of the year too, with school going on. I think people got a lot going on. So yeah, the bus rides are usually quiet.
Okay. All right. And then what about one other thing I wanted to ask? What handshakes? What's the coolest handshake you guys got? You guys have unique handshakes with each other or not really?
No, I don't think
it's
we
pretty
do.
standard.
Yeah, the best. I was trying to think of starters. I don't think we have anything too complicated. The best is Dan when he gets his name called. He has a big smile on his face, tosses his warm up over his head. He's ready to roll. He's ready to play. That's my favorite one, even though he doesn't even have a handshake.
I like it. Yeah. Well, thanks again for being with us. Senior men's basketball player Dylan O'Hara. Come out tonight, 8 p.m. or come 6 p.m. women's basketball, sure. And then stay for the 8 p.m. game against rival Grove City College. It's gonna be a packed. This is the most media we've had, Dylan. We have the PSC Sports Network, we have our own Westminster Cable Network, and then we have Titan Radio, and we have our own, or not our own, but our guy, Ryan Briggs from Grove City College. He does their radio. He's their SID. So it's gonna be a packed house tonight, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be buzzing, if you will.
The buzz, yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be buzzing at the buzz. But thanks again for joining us. This is the Buzz. Make sure you follow Titan Athletics on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And for all things Titan Athletics, including feature stories, schedules, video, and everything in between, go to athletics.westminster.edu. Thanks for listening to The Buzz. Nate LaRiccia and Mike Boucher with our student-athlete guest, senior men's basketball player Dylan O'Hara. And The Buzz and our past shows, Mike, and then Dylan too. Check out Apple Podcasts. It's legit. This is not a fake thing we do here. I pressed recorded, and it should be good. So go Titans, and we'll see you next time.